Are you someone who has perhaps been putting off something because of procrastination? Well, today I'm going to talk about what this is and what you can do to overcome it. And if you stay until the end, I have an extra special point for you then. Now, I'm not going to go into every example in my life, but I've been someone who's procrastinated a lot. We all do. Like pretty much everyone I know procrastinates to some degree, or I'm pretty much sure every human being has. So I procrastinated, and people think it's only specific to them. No, it's everyone does it. It's just how we overcome it and move through it is what counts. I procrastinated like applying for jobs before, even when I didn't have one. I've had procrastinated starting a business idea, even though it's going to make me money. I procrastinated talking to someone about a project in a professional place, or talking to someone in a social environment, even though I knew I should do, or even left things to the last minute. Have you been there? Maybe you can relate. Now, what is procrastination? Let me explain. And it's a really good definition from my mentor. And he said it's this: it is just fear. Now, you may be thinking, because I thought this, well, what if I'm like procrastinating putting off my like housework or taxes? That's still fear. It's not necessarily the fear of rejection or failure. It is the fear of discomfort or boredom. Those are fears as well. And looking at my cleaning to do, there's definitely a fear of boredom or discomfort that I've been procrastinating some of the tidying up over there. So again, like I'm not saying I'm perfect by any means, right? However, when we procrastinate some of the important things, they can really build up. And I've certainly been there, getting quite tight on deadlines in places you get stressful. Maybe you just don't do the money-making activities and then money gets really stressful. So procrastination can cause even more discomfort if you keep procrastinating. So ask yourself this question: what's it going to cost you? We're going to go into some steps in a minute, but what is it going to cost you if you keep procrastinating against something? If you're like me, it didn't do me any favors at all when I procrastinated in certain areas. So let's go into some practical, easy steps you can do to really overcome procrastination. Remember, it's just fear. So the first thing is to ask yourself, what do you want? We always come back to that question, because if you don't know where you're going, how do you know what direction to go in? As we keep going around in circles, because maybe you're procrastinating, putting off something that's not even important, right? So therefore, where focus goes, energy is always going to flow. So make sure, if you are holding yourself back from something, if that something's actually going to move the needle, right? So asking yourself, where do you want to go, first of all, is key. So, for example, if you want to go to a certain amount of revenue you're making in business, or a certain pay grade in a job, and you're procrastinating doing that business generating activity, or putting off asking for that pay raise or going for that new job, then you are holding yourself back. But if it's something else that's not actually going to move you towards those things, well, is it even worth doing? So first of all, you've got to understand, where do you want to go? The second one is recognize that it is just fear. Recognize you are procrastinating, because progress starts with truth. Be very, very honest with yourself, recognizing you're holding yourself back. And the third thing is, what's one tiny thing you could do at least each week, if not a few times a week or every day, towards what you want? Sometimes we procrastinate because things seem too big a jump, when instead we could break them down into a lot smaller bite-sized chunks that are going to enable us to build a little momentum and therefore progress. So remember to praise yourself when you do them as well. So I've got an extra point for you as well. And it's this: I want you to remind yourself of all the times you've overcome fears or procrastination. And then just keep listing them to yourself. Do it for 5 minutes. Write down as many things as you can think of as possible, because that's training your brain and remembering that you have overcome a lot of things in the past, and therefore you're capable of doing that going forward as well. So I want to keep it short and sweet today. Don't want you to procrastinate by listening to more podcasts, more information. Those are some practical tips I just want to give you, recognizing it's fear and then breaking it down as small as possible. But recognizing you're procrastinating catch yourself out for it and taking those small steps. So I appreciate you for being here. You're improving other people's lives by being the best you. And remember, you are in control of your own self-esteem and confidence.